Well, good day, everybody. So it's the third. No, it's the 3rd of April. I nearly said the 4th of March, but anyway, 3rd of April, and we just got the latest positions, the 1200 UTC positions for today. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And when I saw it, I thought, "Oh, jeepers! I really need to do a an update now just to try and explain to people what's going on." Because I haven't looked at my app, my mobile app today on the tracker, but it must be looking kind of strange. Everyone will be thinking, what? Because they're facing in strange directions and doing strange things, but they're certainly all having a beautiful sail on flat seas and, reasonable conditions, but going nowhere mostly. And so, as much as it's very pleasant, it would be very frustrating, but this is exactly what was sort of predicted for this particular leg. But now the boat's just getting pushed around with the currents and all that sort of stuff. So it'll be a pretty quick tracker update, just trying to explain what's going on and why they're pointing those directions and so on. So we'll just get straight into it, I think, and we'll see how we go. So if I press that, you've got the tracker, and if I go down to the tracker here, I'm on at the same time. So there you go, all over the place. Jacob's now heading out due east. He was going north for a minute ago. And Jasmine's now decided that she's had enough and wants to go home. I think that's the deal. So she's completely turned around, going north. Josh is the same thing. He's just following. In fact, now Jasmine is following Josh instead of Josh following Jasmine. And Eric, not sure what he wants to do. It's just all crazy because there is basically no wind. So the graphic that you're seeing there obviously is the current, which you know about. And when there's no wind and you're just drifting around, the current takes control and it'll send you where the current wants to go because the current's either stronger than the speed through the water or it's interfering with their courses and so on. So let's just walk it through and assume. Also, you got to assume that this graphic of the current even may not even be correct, and it's probably not, because if you look here, there's sort of like this bomb arrangement where everything's coming out this way, out to the northwest on the top of it, and at the bottom it's going south and southwest, and it's sort of generally trying to go around something here, and you'll see this is all going to change dramatically very shortly. So Gary's getting a bit of a ride out there to the west right now. I had a chat with him this morning. He kept popped up on Messenger on Facebook. Excuse me, because he's utilising his mini Starlink as well, watching everything, playing around on Facebook. As long as they've got power, they've got something to do because they're just not going fast anywhere. But he's doing 2.3, and a big part of that is the current. So he said he's hardly drifting, but he's got boat speed, and so this is suggesting about a half a knot current in the graphic for Gary, but it's probably running 1 knot, maybe 1.5 knot. So they do the best they can with trying to preempt or estimate, what this looks like on the computer program. And as I said the other day, a lot of it comes from sea surface temperature. They work out where there's upwellings and so on, as well as various drifting buoys and satellite imagery and all sorts of things. But it may not be totally correct. So there's Gary up there. He said he's committed now. He's got to go to the north. There's nothing he can do. He got 43-mile days. It's interesting. Assume we're on currents now. You watch what happens here. This one's going to grow very quickly. So that's the 3rd. On the 4th, you can see it's getting stronger and stronger. And on the 5th, it's getting really dynamic. So will he be able to get over there in a couple of days? I don't think so. There's 100 miles, so he's only going to be about there in 100 days if he does 50 mile a day. So there's 2 days. But if he was there now, you can see he's going to get a boost going over the top, and then when it comes to going down, it's not so bad either. But this is irrespective of the wind. You can see the currents really pushing through. I'm surprised. Usually, I'm used to seeing currents in rivers. But these are like bombs, just popping up all over the place and going crazy. That one's holding through the 7th, 8th. Still holding there. So Gary's going to get some current to help him along, that's for sure. But we'll have a look at the wind in a minute. But I'll walk you through the boats based on the current. So Christian's obviously made a decision to go over the north now. doing 2.9 knots with not much current, so he must have a bit of breeze, but it doesn't show it when we go to the thing. Eric's got 1.7 knots, obviously not going where he'd prefer to go, but the current is taking him. Ayrton's just rolled over, he's just tacked. You can see here, this was his previous position, but now it's rolled over, so he's doing 0.4 of a knot. Doesn't really mean much at all. 19 miles in the last 24 hours. You're not very far from Kerry, so seeing as Kerry's really quick, he started 12 hours late, but Ayrton's still hanging on to Kerry like everyone else. Kerry's doing 0.2 of a knot. So again, it's just a current. 14 miles in the last 24 hours. Not a lot happening. Adam Wars going northwest at 1 knot against the current. So that means if the current indicator is true, he's probably sailing about 1.5 knots or something, but getting pushed around. So he might not be pointing that direction in real life. Dan Turk, he's chopped around there. He's doing 1.7 knots, 36 mile a day. So they're all a little bit all over the place. You see Mark coming across here trying to make headway in the current. You'd be watching that. Peeler and Renaud pushing down southwest, which is a good direction. And the current, you can see, is sort of softened off and gone. They're right on the back edge of it. But nonetheless, they're pushing it a bit. She's doing 1 knot in that direction. She's probably losing about at least half or 3/4 of a knot with this current, right, changing her course and also slowing her up because 4 to the beam. So she's probably doing 2 knots maybe, something like that. Renaud showing 2 knots, 45 mile a day, getting pushed around with maybe a half a knot current there. So it's still okay for now. So while the boys haven't left Panama, Popeye and John are still sitting there waiting. So they're not underway yet. And let's just see what the breeze is doing. We didn't talk about the amazing part here with Jasmine. She's actually so she's only doing 1.3 knots, but I got a feeling there's a stronger current there than it's showing, because you can see here she wouldn't normally wanted to go 20 miles back the other way. That's all current, okay? And so I think it's stronger than it's showing there, because even with Jacob, you can see he's just holding his own. He's doing 0.9 of a knot, only did 3 nautical miles in the day because he came down this direction, then he got sucked back the other way. You can, if I blow that up, it'll maybe make sense. So he's really been struggling with that. And this is an indication with Jasmine that this current may be stronger than we're seeing. Same with Josh. Everything's fine. Then all of a sudden, Bingo slows down, stops, and goes back the wrong way, going north. But he's going north at a rate of 1.6 knots. So that means the current there is probably about 1.6 knots, right? I'm only guessing. But let's just now roll over to the wind. You can see there's very little wind, and this wind graphic will suffer the same fate as the currents. There's not a lot of accurate information there, real-time live, to put into the computer model to say what's correct or not. It's very generally overall very light, but if Josh had that breeze, he'd be going the other way, because it's just showing about 5 to 8 knots or something. But breeze, he'd be going the other way at about, on the beam, 5 to 8 knots. He should be making 1.5 knots or even 2 knots going this way. So there's something strange going around in all this sort of stuff that's going on. And I think the currents are stronger and maybe slightly different than what we're seeing in the graphic. It's the only way I can describe it. So if we now come back to the big picture, you see everyone's showing a bit of breeze. We spoke about this yesterday. That was what was forecast. But I would suspect it's probably not as strong here as what it's showing. It might only be 5 knots of breeze or something. And puffy. It was interesting watching someone's video yesterday from on board. Maybe it was Jasmine's, I forget. I think it was her video edit. It was interesting to see. It's not flat glass out. You could see patches of breeze up ahead of her and stuff. And it's such a large area. Like it is the doldrums, I suppose. It's such a large area, they've got to try and get to these patches of breeze, but they're all suffering. Everyone, this is a crazy photo. It's a yacht race, and they're all meant to be going southwest, and they're pointing all over the place. So I'm going to go a little bit bigger, because there's good breeze here. This is the very top of the trades. It's right up nearly to the equator. And I think Renaud's going to ride that a little bit very soon. So we'll start pushing that through. So there's the third. This is tonight, and the breeze is moving away. They're not quite there yet. They're so close. They're all so close, but they're quite a distance away. And so by tomorrow, this is tomorrow now, like 24 hours time, it's looking a bit similar to what it's showing now. So it just means that it's going to go quieter overnight. Overnight, there's virtually nothing, and they'll all be drifting probably. Maybe Pila and Renaud will kick on a little bit. So then another quiet day on the 5th, but they should be, Renaud and Pila, if they keep on keeping on doing what they're doing, they should be into that breeze now. Just as they're about to get to it down here somewhere, it's going to start to pull away. So it's touch and go. Will they be able to make this breeze line down here, which is the top of the trades, or will they be fluffing on the edge and still holding back? I'm not sure. It'll be touch and go. Too hard to predict. And just to show you the distance they've got to go, this is on the 6th. It's now the 3rd. If they do 150 miles, no, it's 230 miles because we scaled it back. Okay, so if they're making 50 miles a day, you can see they still haven't quite made it to the breeze line, right? So I got no idea. I wouldn't know how to or where to start that. Let's just look at where the currents are at that time as well. Okay, there's an interesting little stream going there, and they're going to be pushing it possibly all the way down. Let's just come back a few days on the current. Yeah, they're going to be pushing it, but that's cool. If Gary comes up over the top, Gary could go around and blast down here while there's no wind and fifth, come down to the 5th. It's still up around average. It's usually at 5 running through here. Okay, and that's about where it's heading towards. That's on the 5th, and on the 6th, it's sort of holding there. Yeah, it's holding at the thing. So they've still got another 3-4 days of the leaders like Jasmine and Renaud. I reckon another 3 days before we work out what's going on, and then 4 or 5 days before they're starting to get in what looks like might be the top of those trades. So that's about all I can tell you. It's no use looking at the leaderboard. It's all too confusing, but they're still bunched together as a pack, and still no movement from the boys in Panama. So that's about the end of our tracker session for today. I'll come back here, and we've got the bloody questions popped up again. I don't know why they pop up, but I've looked all before I opened this up to try and knock that out, but because it says in my comment assistance on it says hit show if you want to show them in the screen, and I didn't hit show. I've never hit show. So anyway, that's it. So what do we got here? My God, I can't see that. Jeepers. Oh, now it's jeepers. Okay. I can't click and drag this, but anyway, let's just go to show hide from the stream. Now I can't even get in there. Okay, I can't get in there to slide the question bar down. Okay, good stuff. Thanks. I am. That's a nice call sign. Gary, can they use their engines for a bit? What's the penalty? No penalty. They can use their engines. The problem is that they're limited in battery capacity and also solar panels, so they can't run it forever, if you know what I mean. It's really not perpetual motion. We restricted the solar panels and the battery capacity to restrict the amount of electronics on board. But seeing as how Starlink only draws 2 amps on average, maybe 2 to 3, sometimes less than that, they're all using their Starlink, probably watching YouTube videos and Facebook and this tracker update and so on. So kind of fun. G'day Rex. I think that's all. I've got 3 comments here, so I'm maybe not losing it, or maybe they didn't make it. So anyway, that's it. A simple one today. So we'll see you again tomorrow, and hopefully they get some breeze and wander on. they're obviously contemplating the meaning of life and having a bit of fun. It's very pleasant out there. I don't think it's super hot anymore. That's only at the end, so they don't want to have completely flat batteries. Otherwise, they get a penalty, unless it's really windy. If it's over 20 knots, we accept the fact they might need a tow. So, all good. Okay, thank you very much. We'll see you. I've got to press this button. See you again tomorrow, hopefully. All good.
Witness history in the making. The McIntyre Mini Globe Race 2025. Small boat, huge adventure.